Internet, Thanksgiving's this week, so if you are in fight camp or prepping for a fight camp before the end of the year, here's a high protein, lower carb banana bread for you. So, old bananas. Here's what we're using for protein. Legion, Dutch chocolate flavor, and their cinnamon cereal flavor. I have some really high quality all-purpose flour, generic brown sugar, bananas. I like using olive oil or avocado oil instead of butter. That's just my preference. I think it comes out a little bit better texture that way. Butter is probably going to be a better flavor, but texture-wise, I would rather have the texture. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a half cup of all-purpose flour in your mixture. Then I'm going to do a half cup, which essentially is 2 scoops of the Dutch chocolate. And then a half cup, again, which would be 2 scoops of the cinnamon cereal flavor. All right. And then it's going to be a full cup of the brown sugar for the sweetness. You can use white sugar as an alternative, or a 0-calorie sweetener if you're really into that stuff, which I don't think those taste as good, so I go with the sugar because I'm not afraid of carbs. So there's my cup of brown sugar. I get 2 bananas here, peel them out, break them apart so that this mixer can get to them all. Depending on your mixer, you may not need to do that. The way this one's designed, if I get them in too big of chunks, they get stuck. So, break them up. All right. 2 eggs, quality of your choice, to get some extra protein, and then also some wetness in here to get your dough mix to mix up well. Toss that over there. It calls for about 1 stick of butter, but I do about 1/3 of a cup of olive oil for my liking. Toss it in there. Here is your secret ingredient, syrup. This is what we had on hand. I generally would do a natural maple syrup, but this is what we bought. So that's what we do. You just kind of swish it around in there so it looks good. Ready to go. Put your mixer on. If you don't have a Ninja, you should get one because they are worth it. Watch how fast this blends. And that's it. That was literally about 20 seconds. Check it for consistency. Yep, should be nice and thick. Oop, looks like there's a couple bananas in here that I still need to get. But that's what it should look like. Okay, once everything is mixed super well, pour it into a buttered up pan. You can use cooking spray if you want instead. I like butter on the outside. I think it makes the edges just a little bit more crispy. And this is the consistency that you want out of this bread. Now notice I didn't use any baking powder or anything like that because, quite honestly, you don't need it. And the other reason is I don't have any. So, but again, you don't need it. So get that all in there. We'll get this all cleaned up. That's what that should look like. Okay, preheat your oven to 350. You may need to adjust this depending on your elevation. I got my pan here. in the oven. All right, now, your oven will definitely vary. Ours, 37 minutes. Not 40, not 38, 37. That has been perfect for us. So, we'll see what this looks like in about 36 minutes and change. All right, here we go. Oh, and this is what it looks like. Okay. Almost a total failure there. It's hard to do this with a phone. Yeah. Now I'll let that sit for a few minutes in the pan just because it's still a little bit wet here. And that's mostly from the protein. All that protein I put in there. Sometimes that takes a minute to dry out. So just let that continue to warm. It'll dry out on its own. I'll take it out of the pan, slice it up, ready to go. Have a good Thanksgiving.